This is Gilbert Gottfried. And this is Gilbert Gottfried's amazing Colossal podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Frank Santopadre, and we're back at Nutmeg Post.
That's easy for you to say.
Yes. With our engineer, Frank Verderosa.
We love you, Frank.
Our guest this week is a comedian, actress, and two-time Emmy-winning writer. She's appeared on hit series like Louie, The Jim Gaffigan Show, 30 Rock, Two Broke Girls, Sex and the City, and Ugly Betty. As a stand-up comic, she's performed on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson, and Conan. And her own popular podcast is called Kill Me Now and features interviews with Everyone Loves Raymond creator Phil Rosenthal and Amy Schumer, among others. Please welcome the only person ever to portray both Herman Munster's sister and Eleanor Roosevelt. The pride of Clark, New Jersey, our friend Judy Gold.
Oh, my God, that is fucking hilarious.
I thought you might like that.
God, you do your research.
Oh, a little bit.
Yeah.
Somebody has to, Judy.
Yeah.
So you were in that one of those TV movies, one of those...
All right, so there was this children's book, The Ballad of Lucy Whipple.
Yeah.
And I auditioned. They were, these are all the calls I get. So they're looking for a woman who's disguised as a man. So I go in. That's all. These are all my auditions. They're looking for someone really fat and androgynous. I know you're not fat. So anyway, they were looking for a woman disguised as a man. So I go in. And I didn't wear makeup. And the director loved me. And I talk like this, or I don't even know what I did. But anyway, I was in this. Glenn Close was producing and starring in this movie, The Ballad of Lucy Whipple. I play this. It's in the gold rush. It's set in the 1890s. I am a woman, but I want to dig, and women couldn't dig then. So I'm dressed as a guy. I literally had to smoke a fucking pipe. I thought I was gonna puke. And who was in it? Meatloaf was in it. What's his name? Who died? Oh shit!
Oh, him.
Italian, like he was on
Vincent Gardenia?
No, he was on
Al Capone.
Fuck.
What was he on?
He was on Murphy Brown. He was the painter.
Oh, Pastorelli.
Yeah.
Robert Pastorelli. Funny guy.
What's her name from Sid and Nancy?
Chloe Webb?
Yes!
Wow.
She was one of the resident zanies on Thick of the Night.
You are correct,
yes.
sir.
Yes.
Wow. I loved her. We were shooting in Utah, so we decided we were going to go to the, they have that big library where they have files on everyone who's ever lived, and then you're supposed to go in there and look at the files, and then they convert the dead people. So I'm a Jew, but I could go in and find my name.
There's a place in Utah where they have files on it?
Yeah, there's some big library, and it has everyone who's ever lived,
Do you know about this, Gil?
No.
So Chloe and I go.
I don't have to be a Jew anymore? Is that the way it works?
Yeah, exactly.
And
they convert you.
I'm leaving right now to go over there.
Victims. They convert Holocaust victims who are now not Jewish anymore, according to them. So that's how they lure you in. They're like, oh, we have files on everyone who's, you're related to. So Chloe and I we're like, let's go to this thing. And we go to a lecture thing. And we, when you're in school and you can't laugh, but you're going to pee in your pants, that we were literally with all these Mormons and they were taking it really seriously. And we were just asking the most ridiculous questions. And I swear to God, I almost peed in my pants.
Church laughter.
So anyway.
They will switch you over?
Yeah, they believe if you convert, then they can convert all your dead relatives too.
That's bizarre.
Yeah. You know what the most bizarre thing
Wow.
is? That it was started in upstate New York. That religion was created in upstate New York. Like, what fucking religion was created in upstate New York? Besides, like, buffalo chicken wings.
Yeah. Well, wait, get back to the Glenn Close movie
sorry,
because
yes,
we want
I
to know
took-
why Meatloaf hates you.
You didn't have to put it like that.
I'm
so
sorry.
anyway, we're there for 6 weeks. And I'm always dressed up like a guy. The way they find out I'm a woman is that I go to bathe, and the Lucy, oh God, she's famous too. I can't fucking remember
Lucille
anything.
Ball?
No, the girl who played Lucy. All right, so her and her friends see me
Who?
bathing. You didn't look it up?
No, which actress? What was she in? We love this game.
She had just been in a movie.
Oh, that one.
It was.
Yeah.
This is an actress who
It
was in the Glenn Close movie.
99. Oh, it was 1999.
All right, what'll come to you?
Fuck. Okay.
Wait, no, this is killing me now.
Wait, who the fuck is? Should I look it up on
Oh,
my
I'll
phone?
have Dara look it up.
Julia Roberts.
Yeah, Ballad of Lucy Whipple.
Be
The cast.
Benaderet.
Anyway,
Okay, the Ballad of Lucy.
okay, so I have a scene where I go to bathe in the lake or the stream, and they see me. So they see my boob. You can see my boobs.
Now, what is it with Glenn Close and all
boobs.
these androgyny things? Wasn't she on Broadway playing like a woman
Yeah.
who's
What do
a
we have here?
man or a man pretending
It's
to be a
Jenna
woman?
something, I think. Jenna Malone!
Jana Malone.
Bruce McGill,
Yes.
Meatloaf, Chloe Webb.
That would have
Dennis
been my guess.
Christopher,
What a
Olive Burnett, Judy Gold,
great
Michael
cast.
Welsh. Yeah. Wilford Brimley. Oh, he came. We were all supposed to be scared of him. Glenn had Glenn was like, listen, Wilford's coming. And I'm like, doesn't he do that fucking commercial for the whatever?
like for brand
Robert
cereal or-
Pastorelli. Yeah. So anyway,
Terrific.
Thank you, Dara.
Thank you,
But
research
she
team.
was on Broadway.
Yeah.
Playing that part like where she's
Oh, yeah.
a man who's a woman or a woman who...
yeah,
What's-
was it Victor Victoria?
No,
No, that
some
wasn't
other
it.
weird thing.
Yeah, we'll think of
I'm
it.
going through menopause. I can't find. All right. Anyway, so Glenn, we all have apartments in Park City, right? My apartment was pretty nice. Glenn, of course.
Maybe it's because her name is Glenn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's a great insight.
Yes.
Okay, so Glenn, of course,
Yeah.
has rented this enormous fucking in the mountains, gorgeous fucking mansion. Invites us all over, right? And she has a ping pong table. And I love ping pong because I always played ping pong as a kid. We had a ping pong table in the basement. I played like So Meatloaf says that he was like a college champion in ping pong. And I'm like, all right, I'll play you.
I'm trying to wrap my mind around this.
So Meatloaf and I are playing ping pong. And I win the first game. And he's not happy. And then we're like, okay, 2 out of 3. And I'm like, 2 out of 3. Hey, man.
Very quick.
So then we play again. I think he beat me. And then it was like tie. It was very close. And then I think I won. So the next day, and he was so fucking mad. So the next day at Craft Services, they have the big, the truck where you can get breakfast. So I write on the board, they have like a dry, whatever, what are they called?
Dry
Dry
erase.
vagina board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I write on the dry vagina board.
Which is the technical term for it.
Yes, I write.
Yeah.
Judy
The dry
beat
vagina.
Judy beat meat and ping pong as one of the items.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, he was so mad.
Wow.
Yeah. So mad.
One of the food selections you wrote,
Judy beat
Gold.
meat and ping pong.
And what was he? Was he yelling at you or something?
He never talked to me again. He fucking hates me.
Judy Gold and
Yeah.
Meatloaf play
And
ping
it's
pong
like,
at Glenn Close's house.
I don't understand like people who take themselves so fucking seriously. You know what I mean?
Well, his music always had a sense of humor about it. I'm
I know.
surprised he took himself so
I don't know.
seriously.
He
But I
just
think
hated
I
me.
think Gil wanted to ask you also about the Munsters.
Oh, that was great. I played Herman's sister. And
Herman was played by
Edward Herman.
Edward
Yeah.
Herman.
Yeah, the late
Yeah,
Edward Herman.
He was
Always-
the nicest.
always playing like the rich, snooty
Right.
guy in movies.
And the
well,
nicest
Gilmore
guy.
Girls and
Right.
all those.
Well, there's your Munsters Eleanor Roosevelt connection again too, because he played FDR.
Oh my God!
Oh my
yes!
God! It's Bashert.
Yes!
It's Bashert.
and
Robert Morse was Grandpa.
That's right.
Yeah, the great Robert Morse.
He also played. He was, I guess, the other actor to play Charles William Randolph Hearst.
Right.
Right.
And I can't. Was it Cat's Meow or something?
Oh, the one
about
that
that room.
Bogdanovich made.
Yeah.
Cat's Meow.
That
He was
famous
so
room.
talented.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Nice.
met him once. He was very nice.
So nice. So I'm playing a sister because, he's like 6'5", 6'6", and I'm 6'3". So, and then they made I die. So they made a fake me, like the head and everything. And I swear to God, I would go to work and I'd be like, oh my God, that's what I'm going to look like when I'm dead. Like, it's you.
Was it like a Bride of
Dead.
Frankenstein getup?
Yes.
Oh, Gilbert would have loved
Exactly.
that.
Oh my God!
Yes, it was
yeah.
total bride. Oh, I think I have a picture.
Oh,
I
you
didn't bring
got
it.
to
All right.
send us that picture.
So yeah, and Christine Taylor played the normal one on the Munsters. Ben
the
Stiller's
Marilyn?
wife.
Ben Stiller.
Yeah, Ben Stiller. She married Ben Stiller, but she has had an amazing career.
Yeah,
I love
she
her.
was Marsha Brady.
Marsha Brady,
Right.
and that was really
Say that
really
again?
fun. Marsha Brady,
Okay,
and
I'll be asking you to say that a few times.
okay, Marsha
during
Brady.
that.
But that was really really fun. That was really fun.
That's so
And
cool.
what was Robert Morse like?
I remember. Did I even have any scene? He was just nice.
Yeah,
Why? I don't know.
No.
I don't
Oh,
think
we
I
love
had
him.
any scenes.
We love him. We'd love to have him on the show.
I mean,
actually.
he's fucking talented.
We loved
that
him
guy.
on it.
he was. I mean, and How to Succeed
In
Oh, that's-
business.
yeah, that's a
I
great
mean,
one.
He's terrific.
he is so like those people who are musical theater people and then go on like sitcoms or whatever. I mean, you can't believe how fucking talented they are. And then there's like comics who become sitcom stars who it's like okay, you completely fucking lucked out. You know.
Yes.
And these people have been through conservatory and then
Robert
Yeah.
Morse is one of those people, after How to Succeed, it looked like he was going to be the next major star.
Right.
And it just never. Oh, God, I remember he was in Guide to the Married Man
That's
with
right.
That's
Walter
right.
Yeah,
Matthau.
that's right. He
That's
was.
right.
Well, and yeah.
I can't cheat on my wife.
And we talked about the loved one, where
Oh, my God,
where
yes.
I
that-
think he's either doing a bad British accent, or they
Yes.
they messed with his voice. It's very strange.
Yeah, that's the one you thought you liked, and then you saw it again.
Well, because of that cast, and because you want to love Robert Morse and
I
everything.
love Robert. And what about him on Mad Men?
Yeah, well, he's had a second.
Oh, that
career
was
now.
like the perfect role.
I know.
Because that's like the character from How to Succeed,
Right.
older.
I love him.
And I remember, of all places, I was only to the Playboy Mansion once, and Edward Herman was there, and I mentioned some TV play he did, like where a one-act play, and I remember he looked at me and he put his hands in like a prayer
Right.
type thing and bowed his head. He was like so touched that I remember.
But you
That's
knew this
so
credit of his.
nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a
I
cool
always
story.
remember that. He
Oh,
was just
did you
so-
blow him right after that?
Yeah, well, I blew him before
Right,
that. He's
of
Edward
course.
In the
Herman.
grotto.
And then that was the end.
He
yeah.
played Herman Munster. I had to suck his dick. And I let John Chuck fuck me in the ass.
really?
For the same
That is
reason.
great.
You never told me that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Fred Gwynn's I've blown on several. And after I blew Fred Gwynn, he said, sometimes death is better. Because he was in a pet cemetery.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank God this bit's going to end because you ran out of Herman Munsters.
Sometimes
No, but
death
I
is
think
better.
Gilbert is in the new Charlie Sheen sex tape.
He might be.
Yes.
We had Butch Patrick on the show, by
You
the way,
did?
speaking of the Munsters.
Really?
Yes, he was
Does
he was
still-
terrific.
Does he really have a widow's peak?
Yes, and he carries that Wolfman doll with him everywhere. He said
he was
he
great.
had copies of that Wolfman doll made.
Yeah.
And he sold them all and immediately went to drugs.
No way.
True. I would love to get my hands on
What
one.
does he do now?
What is he doing? He's in all kinds of things. Some real estate, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, I think.
Although he was one of those guys that you're very pleasantly pleased that, because I was expecting some mean old drunk.
Right.
No, he was great and forthcoming.
Yeah, and a total sense of humor about his whole career and his life.
Yeah,
And
and he does the circuit,
Right.
There's like 500 nostalgia shows.
Right.
He's one of those who makes money on Halloween. you
Right,
know,
right,
like
right.
autograph
Oh, wow,
signing or
that's
whatever.
funny.
And speaking of Christine Taylor and the Brady Bunch, this was a show that meant very much to
Oh,
you
wait,
growing
wait.
up.
Yes.
You didn't say it.
What? Marsha Brady!
Okay.
Marsha Brady!
I just got it. It's like a Jerry thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I just caught
Lady!
I catch on slow.
Marsha Brady!
So you grew up in Clark, New Jersey. We
Oh,
were talking
please,
about
why
it
do you
before.
do- yeah.
We don't want to. Well, that's part of your story. You lost yourself in television.
Well, I couldn't. First of all, my parents were older. They were 41 and 48.
That's strange for your parents to be older.
They were
Yeah.
older than me. Yeah.
Than you.
But they were like 20 years
My parents
older.
were 14 and 15.
Okay, so anyway.
This is going to be one of those
And
episodes.
my
Jim.
grandparents were fetuses.
All right. We don't
Oh
have
my
to talk about
God.
Clark, New Jersey.
Oh my God.
But at
That
least
was
let's-
like me and Chloe with the fucking
It was.
Mormons.
It was a little bit.
So yeah, but it was like this suburban fucking, New York was 27 miles away and people would be like, I would never go to the city. And my mother grew up in the city. It was like, those people who
Sure.
live like 5
Sure.
miles out of Manhattan. They're like, I don't go to the city. You wouldn't see me caught dead in the city. And I was really tall and nerd. I don't know. I fucking was addicted to sitcoms. I just wanted to go in the TV. I wanted to live with the Bradys. I wanted the Partridge Family. Like every single, I was addicted.
Who was the pretty blonde character on the Brady's? What
Florence
was that character?
Henderson?
No, what was
No.
the character's name?
Oh, what's her name? Marsha Brady.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's.
You're friends with Florence Henderson now.
Oh my God! I can't even believe I didn't tell. So in 1995, I won the Cable Ace Award for my HBO special. Guess who gave me the?
Oh, what an honor.
Wow.
Guess who gave me the award?
Carol herself.
Maureen McCormick.
Oh, the actual.
And it was my birthday too, and I was like, "Oh my God,
That's very
Oh
cool.
my God, this is like the
And
greatest
what-
night of my
What
life."
character did she play?
Well, she was on she played Marsha Brady.
Now, I think Florence Henderson caught crabs
From John
Mayor
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
yeah, former New York
Yes.
Mayor
Yeah.
John Lindsay.
Well,
She said she did.
Yes. Now,
Well, why would she said she did like she like it might not be true, but she wants to impress everyone.
Good point.
Oh God.
John Lindsay, the star of Rosebud.
Oh
The
my
Otto
God, that's right.
Otto Preminger movie.
That's
There's
right.
some trivia for you.
Wow.
And so she fucked the former mayor of New
she
York,
fucked
John
so many
Lindsay,
people.
and she got crabs from him.
You know, I held some hope.
Oh, my
I held
God.
out some hope that we could get Florence Henderson to do the show.
All right.
I guess that
she'll
won't.
do the show.
that won't be
She is
happening.
fucking. She is the greatest.
Well, our friend-
She came to see, like I did the Judy show, My Life as a Sitcom, where it was just about
Yeah.
my addiction to sitcoms and how I thought I'd grow up and be on a sitcom. And she came one night because I would do these talkbacks, and we went out to dinner, and then we became really good friends. And so she would totally do the show.
She's very open about everything.
Oh, my
she's
God.
a great
She's the
interviewer.
greatest.
Yeah. She was
Greatest.
on the Joy Show a bunch of times.
Yeah.
The show we did at HLN.
Yeah.
I was in a
Back to you.
Cheerios commercial with
her?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Was she nice?
yeah. Very
She's
nice.
lovely.
Gino says she's a fan of yours,
Oh yes,
Florence Henderson.
Yes.
I bet she loves you.
Yes.
I asked her, I said, did you know Mike was gay? And she said the first day at the pilot, you have to ask her this when she does the show, that he had to kiss her I guess he was. They were doing some kiss, and he wasn't really into the kiss, and she realized why. And the director was like, Mike, or whatever, what's his name?
Robert Reed.
Robert Reed. You really, and she actually went over there and said, lay off.
Interesting.
Yeah. Take care.
I heard some show where they had an interview with Sherwood Schwartz.
Yes.
Who produced that.
And Gilligan's Island. He did
Yes.
Gilligan's
Yes,
Island.
yes.
And they said, Sherwood Schwartz and Robert Reed hated each other from the beginning. They couldn't stand each other.
Because Robert Reed wanted to be like a Shakespearean actor, or was, very,
Well,
go
he
ahead.
wanted to wear tights. and I remember
Charlie
they
Sheen.
said when he died, when Robert Reed died of AIDS, they were talking and everyone was saying, he was like losing a family member. We were all devastated and crying. So the reporter said, Sherwood Schwartz didn't show up for the funeral. Mm-hmm. And they said to Sherwood Schwartz.
He was written out.
Yeah, but they said to Sherwood, the interviewer said to Sherwood Schwartz, he says, weren't you sad when Robert Reed died? And he goes, of course I was sad. When word gets out that he died of AIDS, that can kill you in syndication.
Oh, my, he did not.
Yes.
Where did you read
yes.
that? Where did you read that?
Do you know why he did Gilligan's? All right, that was the first show where they had, who
was supposed to be
who?
Mr. Brady?
Who?
Who was up for it? Gene Hackman.
That's
was?
right. That's right.
Yes.
That I did hear.
He would have been horrible.
And it would have destroyed his career.
Right.
Yeah. I'd heard that.
But that was the first blended family on television. That's why he did it, and that's why he did I wrote an article when
you
he
read
died.
his obituary. Yeah,
yeah,
the
for
Times.
the Times, and he also did Gilligan's Island because he wanted to have a place where people from all different socioeconomic backgrounds have to get along.
But no black people on Gilligan.
Oh, that's true.
Seven white people from different
Yeah, that's right.
socioeconomic
That's true.
backgrounds
He
have
can
to
only
get
go
along.
so far.
Well, Room 222 had been on already, so yeah.
Terrific show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ba-da, ba-ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, that's right.
Room 222.
Ba-da,
Karen Valentine.
da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All right, sorry.
Now they had on. What? Oh,
She knows her stuff.
What's her name from Julia?
Diane Carroll.
Yes, Diane Carroll.
She was on some show and she was talking about all these handsome doctors on TV, and she made this snide remark, like she goes, "And who was I stuck with Lloyd Nolan?"
Oh, wow.
And I thought
She did?
I thought, fuck her. Fuck her. That
know who
piece
I would
of
call?
shit.
Marsha
Fuck her.
Brady!
I question whether Diane Carroll ever said that and whether Sherwood Schwartz ever said that.
Diane Carroll said that at the Emmys.
Really?
Fuck you, Diane Carroll. Fuck you.
We like Lloyd.
What about,
we like Lloyd
what
Nolan.
about Bridget Loves Bernie? I love
my
Bridget
God.
Loves Bernie.
right.
Meredith Baxter
Yeah,
Birney.
Meredith Baxter Bernie, who I know too.
and
Yes,
what's his
she's
name?
a lesbian.
David
We're in the
Burney.
same. And David Burney.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Of
And
course.
it was such a big deal because
course.
there was a Jew on television. There's a Jew. Yeah. That was how it was big in our house.
Michael Constantine is still around,
Yes!
too, speaking of
Room 222. He was on
we
Room
have to, We have to
222.
get him.
Oh, my God,
He's got to be
yes.
pushing 90. Yeah. He's done a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, he's amazing.
So these were the other shows you watched. We'll talk about...
I watched
You watched The Partridge Family. You just talked
yeah.
about Room 222. All in the Family, Mary Tyler Moore, Rhoda, Maude.
Now, you worked with or met or Buddy Hackett.
Oh, Buddy Hackett. I don't know. I got into the Friars. I was like 89 or 80. Like Ruth Stern got me into the. Do you remember Ruth Stern?
Oh, yeah.
How? Like you'd call her up, and you'd call her up and say, because she booked all the country clubs. Well, I called them and I said that I have JudyGold, and they said, who? So that's how she didn't give you as much money as you deserved. And I said your name, and they said, who? So she got me in, and then I don't know what it was. The Concord, right before it was closing, they did like some big show, and Buddy Hackett asked me to open for him. And he comes up to me in the dressing room, and he's like, he's fucking 5 feet tall or 4 feet, whatever.
Yes.
And he puts his head in my boobs and goes. And then asks me for a tongue kiss.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was my Buddy Hackett story.
Hey, you give me a tongue kiss.
He's like, come on.
Come.
Right in my tits.
I'll motorboat your tits if you give me a tongue kiss.
He asked me for a fucking tongue. Like, I'm going to fucking tongue kiss Buddy Hackett. And then he loved, what's her name? Xena, or the tall woman.
Oh, from New Zealand?
Who?
Wherever
Lucy
she was
Lawless?
from.
Yes, he loved her. He loved tall women.
What did that have to do with Buddy Hackett? Lucy
No,
Lawless.
he loved Lucy Lawless.
Oh, he had a thing for her.
Mm-hmm.
How strange.
After I rejected his advances, he was like seen with Lucy Lawless.
And I heard Lucy Lawless actually fucked him. Yeah.
He tried to go up on her as the Friars Club
How many
joke.
times have I fucking heard that
Yeah,
joke?
I know you have.
Yeah.
I've been at roast where that joke's been said about you.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's how he motorboats. Whoa.
What else did you watch, Judy? You watched Carol Burnett. You
I
watched
loved
Sonny
Carol
and Cher.
Burnett, Sonny and Cher. All right, I'm going to admit this. I rarely admit this, but I watched The Lawrence Welk Show.
Wow.
Yeah.
We haven't had a guest admit that.
That's pure anti-Semitism.
I watched that. When I see it on
That's
reruns,
like a Nazi training
I know.
film.
And when I see it on reruns in some fucking horrible hotel or motel, I still watch it.
Really?
I think Lenny Riefenstahl directed
The
that
guest director of the Lawrence Welk Show? Really? Triumph of the Welk.
Globals produced it. Globals. The Goebbels, whatever the fuck their name is.
Goebbels. George Goebbels. Oh, God.
Yeah, I used to watch it. I knew all the people. Wonderful. And I'm like, why are we... Like, I realize now he was Polish. He probably fucking hated every Jew.
Oh, absolutely.
I know. And it was so queer. They were so queer.
Oh, God.
They were like, I can't fucking believe I watched that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that was total anti-Semitism.
There was one black guy who was on.
Better than Gilligan's Island.
Yeah. He played, I forgot what he played, but he was like the token black guy. And then two of the cast members married, and they would always sing like some stupid, like, love song.
Right.
And, wonderful. Next up, we're going to...
That was so anti-Semitic,
Yeah.
Arthur Godfrey wouldn't watch it.
I take it you did not watch the Lawrence Welk Show.
No,
Right.
it would come on, and it was like a brown shirt.
I feel like...
It was a Bund rally.
You know what it was like?
It was
Bund
when that
rally.
show came on.
Oh, God.
It was Crystal Knock.
They had a song. Crystal knocked, crystal knocked. Every morning you greet me. Wonderful.
One and a two.
And a one and a two. But you know what? I don't know. It was like, like when you hate a song but you want to hear it because you hate it. So it's like that watching like a bad accident. That's like I was fascinated with the
there are
whole-
movies like that. They're so bad you can't turn away from them.
Right. That's what that was for me. And apparently still is. Go.
I don't know where to go. Doing a little research on you, too.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Toady Fields as an influence.
I
And
love
that's
Toady.
something someone I don't think Gilbert and I have discussed on this show yet.
No. haven't? I
we've
loved
never talked
Toady
about
Fields.
Toady Fields.
I loved her. I loved her.
She was
I
funny.
thought she was so fucking funny. And then she had the diabetes and lost her leg. And then her niece is a casting director. And I met the niece who was friends with my neighbor. I mean, I can't even with the Jewish geography, but my neighbor went to college with her niece. And she was very close to her. But I thought Toady Fields was
She
so
was
fucking
funny. Who was her husband she used to reference? Georgie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I loved her. I loved Joan. I loved all those women. They were so fucking hilarious.
And going back to your one-woman show, I mean, there's a part in the show where you talk about how these women inspired you, too.
Well, they made me think, there is something in show business. I mean, I'm never going to be the fucking lead in some, but, it sort of gave me the permission to have a dream.
Mm-hmm.
I have a dream! to, actually be able to get on stage and perform, And then you actually do it, and then you're too tall, or you're too Jewish, or you're too loud, or you're too,
right.
And then you have to stop listening to that shit at some point.
But you didn't get to know Toady, but Joan became a friend.
Yeah, Joan was. Did you know? You knew Joan?
Oh,
He
yeah.
worked with Joan a bunch of times.
Great.
She was the best.
I remember the last time I saw her, it was the Howard Stern party, the last time I was anywhere near Howard Stern.
Except for the day at Radio City.
How long ago was that?
Even then, I think 1941.
Oh, yeah.
The Japanese had just bombed Pearl Harbor, and I was talking to Howard Stern.
Masha Brady!
But I was sitting at a table with Joan Rivers, and it was like a private show because everyone who walked by, she'd go, "Oh, that one's a total slut." Him. He's the luckiest man in show business. Fuck him.
You know what? She was so brutally honest and she was so relevant at the age of 81. Like she was never more relevant and more a part of pop culture and the zeitgeist than when she was 81 years old.
And I remember, I think it was at that dinner, she started to say she was pissed off at comedians who would complain that comedy's a boys' club. And she would always go, fuck them. Just be funny. That's all you got to do is be funny. Fuck you.
I always subscribe to the I'm just doing my work sort of thing. Because there is sexism in every fucking career and every, there is in every occupation. I was just like, I just want to get on stage and I really don't want to get involved in the, it's because I'm a woman. But I never talked about like my period.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not that there's not funny things about getting your period.
Frank and I face...
Masha Brady got a period!
Frank and I face sexism because they originally wanted two men for this show.
No way.
Yeah, we fought it.
I can't believe it.
We fought it tooth and nail.
That is amazing. That is incredible.
Speaking of Joan Rivers, I'm going backward, but I have this thing on the card that I wanted to mention. Do you
Yes.
remember the TV movie that she wrote with Stockard Channing? Does anybody remember that? The Girl Most Likely?
Oh my
yeah.
God, yes.
Yes.
And Ed Asner.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Where she's getting her revenge on...
Yep, early Joan
And
Rivers.
she wrote a play, right? She wrote a play that was nominated for a
The
Tony.
Heidi Abramowitz?
I don't remember, but they couldn't light the lights. It had to be a big to-do.
And then
when
she wrote Rabbit Test.
She directed that.
She directed it too,
yeah. She did a
She
lot
was
of interesting
fucking
things.
brilliant. She was brillante.
I just wanted to get it out there. I had it on the card.
Yeah, thank you.
In the spirit of Joan, I have a question.
Yes.
I heard you, in the spirit of the politically incorrect Joan Rivers, you recently asked why it's not okay to make fun of Caitlyn Jenner.
Right.
Which I found interesting.
I actually, I host Halloween with Bette Midler at the Waldorf, and I dressed up as Caitlyn and everyone's like, why are you dressed as Caitlyn? I'm like, because it's the only fucking costume where I can wear my own clothes. Like, all I needed was a wig. I was like, this is the greatest. I was at some event, and they're like, what can't you talk about? I'm like, I'm so sick that we can't. Why can't we talk about Caitlyn Jenner? Because she's trans?
It's very
I
interesting.
hate her as a person. I don't like her as a person.
Yeah.
I don't care if she's trans. I didn't like Bruce as a person.
Right.
Why can't I make fun of her? The trans community and what they've been through. Shut the fuck up.
In the news recently,
Yeah.
there was some guy who received an award for his late wife, and his wife was running into the World Trade Center, saving people from the World Trade Center, and he was honored to get the award for his late wife. And then they gave one to Caitlyn Jenner, and he returned.
Yeah.
Good.
He said, I don't want it. I thought this meant something. And he goes, my wife gave her life
She
to save these
to save people. And he got $500 million to get to transition to a woman on television.
Yes.
And get cheekbones and his fucking Adam's apple shaved. And then he goes around saying, or she, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
She goes around saying things like, I really know what it's like to be a woman because it was so hard to pick out this outfit. Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. I cannot tell you how much time I spend picking out fucking outfits. She lived her life, most of her life, she's 99.9 is as an entitled white Republican male. Okay, she had a secret, and she was hiding. But sorry, I'm sorry. There's kids in the street. The families kicked them out. They're laying in the fucking gutters. And it's the Kardashian of transgender. I mean, it's like, she's a Beverly Hills fucking
and
housewife.
why is she called a hero?
Right.
Why do they refer to her as a hero?
Like Chaz Bono transitions, and no one fucking pays any attention because she's becoming a guy, and that's like when you become a woman, it's so much more palatable than when you become.
That's interesting.
It's true, and like Chaz Bono was out in center and did it, and nothing. Laverne Cox has been for years.
Frank and I are considering becoming guys.
Well, you have the height for. I thought you were going to say woman, and I was going to say you have the height for. Now, are you going to become one guy?
Yeah.
Like you're going to combine
like Ray
everything and
Milland
become a guy.
and Rosie Greer.
That's
With
right.
an incredible two-headed transplant.
Together, we'd have a normal-sized penis.
Speak for yourself.
I have to ask you something. Please, will you answer this, Gilbert?
Yes.
Did Milton Berle have a really big penis?
According to some of our guests,
Well, Jeffrey Ross says he saw it.
Jeffrey Ross
Jeff
saw
saw
it
it.
and Alan
Zweibel.
Zweibel. They both
And-
saw his dick. It's supposed to be enormous.
Well, it's not anymore. It's shriveled
Yeah,
up.
well, it was
But-
enormous.
But that's enormous soft.
Yeah, but I heard he used to walk around with it on a serving tray as a joke. Yeah, he had a
That is
giant.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Well, Bobby Rydell also told us that about Guy Marks.
Oh,
Do you remember?
yes.
Oh, really?
Guy Marks
the
had a
comedian?
giant
Yes.
dick.
Yeah, that he supposedly was well endowed and would play
And
the same
I
trick.
heard a story that one time Milton Berle and Tom Jones were going to have a contest as to who had a bigger dick.
No way.
And they said Milton Berle just unzipped. He took out a little bit of his dick, and Tom Jones immediately went, okay.
Oh, that's so
I
funny.
hope that's true.
Shy yellow. Oh, is that him?
No, that's Tony Orlando.
Orlando.
That's okay.
Yes.
I'm losing my.
I've never seen Tony Orlando's cock.
No, I
Yeah,
heard he has it.
You're
It
young
comes
yet.
up at dawn. It's always hard at dawn.
Oh, God. I don't know where to go here, Judy. Where do you want to go?
And also, why do people have to refer to Caitlyn Jenner as beautiful?
Right.
That's not a beautiful woman
I
by
know.
any stretch.
I can't. I don't. And like so she's a lesbian, obviously, because she's been having
Now,
sex. But you never change when you transition. You never change who you're attracted
Now,
to.
but
she says-
here's
yeah,
the thing
she
I
says
want to
she's still
know.
attracted to women.
Right. So she's a lesbian.
I've heard rumors that Caitlyn Jenner still has a dick.
Yes, she still has her.
So she's
penis.
a woman with a dick.
Right. She until they see what I don't get. It's like they've pretty much perfected
Frank's
the
a woman with a dick.
right. So Frank
too.
knows that
That's why I keep them around.
Just call me Herm.
they can make a nice vagina out of the dick. It's easier to make a vagina out
they
of the
can
dick
make a
than
nice
make a dick
vagina.
out of the vagina. So I don't know why she won't,
That That sounds like a Jewish mother making
can
dinner.
make a- I
we
have a
can make a
doctor
nice
Who
vagina
can make a
out of
very
a
nice
dick.
vagina?
I just can't forgive.
You get it done, and then you go right to the mikvah.
I can't forgive her for the Village People movie. That's the that's the thing I'm not
God.
getting past.
Yes.
Anytime soon.
Now, wasn't Steve Guttenberg
He
in
sure
that
was.
too? Yes.
And Nancy Walker directed it.
Oh,
I
my
love Nancy
God.
Walker. Didn't you love her?
I love Nancy
Now,
Walker.
what
yeah, she's
character?
great.
She was like a maid or something in the commercials.
No, she was the Palmolive.
The Palmolive.
Right?
No.
She was
She was Rosie in the Bounty commercials. She was
Yeah.
Right, that's
this
right.
diner
That's right.
waitress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was.
And I think her line in that commercial is, "A penis makes a good vagina."
you can make a nice vagina out of a penis. And then they had the theme song.
Oh God.
See, so it's an educational program.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. We could talk a little bit more about Joan. We could move on past Joan. Oh, here's what I wanted to ask you. Since you're such a Brady Bunch fanatic, you
Yes.
like the movies too?
So my friend Henriette Mantel played Alice
we
in
know
the movie.
we know
yes.
Henriette. She's great.
She's amazing. So she was playing Alice, and she told me I could come. All right, first of all, this is how mental I am. My friend Judy Toll, I don't know if you remember her. She passed away
remember
from melanoma.
Judy, sure.
Melanoma. Anyway, so she lived on Fair Avenue in Studio City. And she showed me the exterior house, the house that was the exterior for the Brady
On
Bunch.
Dillard Street.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding. This is how fucking mental I am. So I'm in my 30s. I was on a series. I was on All American Girl, and it was right around there. And I would just, some days when I just needed space, I'd just go and park by the exterior of the Brady house. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
I used to take people. People would come into
and
town
I'd
and
just
take
stare
them.
and be like, oh my God, there's the door. Oh my God.
Yeah. They
so
finally
she-
put a fence up around
Yeah,
it
yeah.
because people were stealing their mail and stuff.
Someone took me to the restaurant where Robert Blake went.
Oh yeah,
When his
I've
wife,
been
yes.
there. I've been there. Where he fucking killed the wife. It's right on. Is it on Ventura?
Oh, it's in the valley somewhere.
Yeah.
North
And
Hollywood.
no,
You know what's
yeah.
funny about this? Because he claims he left his gun there,
Yeah.
and he had to go.
I always leave my gun place.
So
yeah.
after we left there, I had like a shitty pair of sunglasses.
Right.
They weren't worth $3. And when I was leaving the restaurant, frantically, the waiter chased me outside and said, "Oh, you left your sunglasses." Because now they're so
Your gun
aware
glasses?
of it.
You left your gun glasses. Oh my God, that's so.
That is
and
funny.
he totally killed her.
Yes.
How did they
Yeah.
fucking get away with this?
I don't know.
I
The LA
think in
juries.
her case, she was like really sleazy. She was like
Yeah,
a
she
con
deserved to get
woman,
killed.
and she was.
Yeah.
And I think that was basically like the "who gives a fuck"
Right.
defense.
That's
you know.
really great. But Henriette, when she was doing the movie,
And she's great in it.
yeah, she let me come to the set. That's how I met Christine Taylor, and then we did a movie together. But
And what part did Christine Taylor play?
she was, because there were 3 girls and 3 boys, and she was Marsha Brady.
The movies are funny. Betty Thomas did a great
Betty
job.
Thomas is
and
great. They're all great.
We have
I
Michael
love that shit.
McKean's
And now
coming
that
up.
commercial.
And
what's his name?
Gary. What's
with
his
Buscemi?
name?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And what? I always forget his name.
Gary Cole.
No, the Spanish actor used to be a convict.
Yeah, the guy from Machete.
Yeah.
Oh boy, his name's jumping out of my head.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I'll think of it. Yeah,
Sandy Rosenblatt.
that's not him. No.
Yeah. And so
Sandy Rosenblatt.
yes, that's the
He's
Spanish.
that's a Spanish name. Is he a Sephardic Jew?
Dara, please look up for us. It's going to bother us. The star of Machete.
Can you
Famous
believe?
SR.
Latino
Wait, what
actor.
about
The
Mannix?
Rosenblatt.
Remember
What?
Mannix?
Sure, Mike Connors.
Yes, he was so fucking fat, and he's running down the street, right?
No, you mean Cannon.
Cannon.
Right.
Yeah,
That
how the
was-
fuck does he get a show?
Different guy.
Well, that was
sorry.
William
Conrad.
Conrad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the shit we watched, and I
Now,
believed
now,
it.
Yeah, good stuff.
Also, you know who was good in the Brady Bunch? I forget that actor's Gary something, who played
Gary Cole.
Gary Cole.
Yeah.
I thought he did
He's
a
funny.
great imitation of Robert Reed.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
well, the
he
whole
was
thing's dead
great.
on.
Yes, he was great.
Yeah.
Remember Sam the Butcher?
Alan Melvin
Yeah.
from Bilko.
Yeah. Remember when they got caught in the freezer?
Sure.
Yeah. And remember when Greg lost the architectural drawings?
I watched one the other day. I watched the one where Bobby, with Hal Smith, with Otis the Drunk from the Andy Griffith Show, is the
Yeah.
kiddie show host,
Yeah.
and Bobby has to, what is it, the pie eating contest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
And
what
they,
about
they ate pussy.
Really?
On the
That's-
show and the
they
pie
did.
eating
Except, you know what?
which-
Robert
which-
Reed did not eat the pussy.
They had a stunt double. They
Wait.
had a very obvious stunt double.
Danny
eating
Trejo.
pussy.
Wait, remember?
Dan-
guy
oh
you're-
yes,
That's the guy you're trying to think of.
Remember
It's down
when
to my-
she promised that she was gonna Marsha, that she was
What's
gonna
her
have
last
what's
name?
his name Brady, that what's his name was gonna come to the prom. Girl, look what you've done to me.
Oh, yeah,
Da-
Davy Jones.
Yeah, Davy
Yeah, we
Jones.
got it. It's Danny
Yeah.
Trejo. Thank you, Dara. Wow, we could talk Brady Bunch all day.
Oh yeah.
You know what I remember too with those shows, like especially during the 70s, they would have all these cop shows like Cannon
Right.
and
Kojak.
Longstreet, the
Kojak.
blind guy.
Which
We were talking about James Franciscus before. He played the blind
Yes.
cop, Long,
Oh yeah,
Longstreet.
yeah.
and the part what was his name? Jack Klugman's
Quincy.
Quincy, yeah.
and then Chips and Starsky and Hutch. They would always do the thing, and T.J. Hooker. They would always do that thing where they would catch the crook, shoot him
Right.
down or whatever, and it would be very dramatic, commercial,
Right.
and then a funny ending.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like dramatic. And they'd have dramatic
Yeah.
music, and then you'd come back and be like, "Hey, so well, we got rid of that. We killed that asshole." All right, let's get
Sometimes
some
they'd
coffee.
freeze frame
I know.
after the
Oh,
gag.
yes, where they'd all
Yeah.
start like someone would make a face or jump in the air and it would
Right.
freeze.
Did you ever see Police Squad?
Oh,
yes!
They
Yes.
parodied that where they would pretend to do a freeze frame.
Yeah.
What about Get Smart?
Sure.
That was the best.
We had Barbara
I
Feldon.
love- yes,
I
we
loved
had
her.
Barbara Feldon.
She
yes.
used to hang out at Catch a Rising Star all the time.
Because she went out with one
What's
of
his
the...
name?
With,
yes.
with Buddy.
Yeah.
Are they still going out, Buddy and Barbara?
I don't understand what's going on between those 2 They're still very close friends.
Yeah. Well, sometimes the prostate just
Yeah.
it's over.
I think Buddy's going
It
out
ends.
with Ed Platt now.
If only.
And what about the Odd Couple?
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
That was the
great
fucking
show.
great.
The
And then
best.
they try to redo it. It's
Oh
like you
my
can't
God.
redo
The
that
best.
fucking show.
Twice.
Well, wait a minute.
Twice.
Which one are you
the
talking about?
Black Odd Couple.
Right.
With Ron Glass.
You bet. And
yeah.
Devon Wilson.
And yeah. And then this other one with Matthew Perry.
What the fuck? You cannot.
Right.
That was
That's it.
nightmarish.
That is iconic.
There was also a female Odd Couple on tour with Rita Moreno and Sally Struthers. Anybody remember that?
My God.
Oh, yes. Yes.
How is Sally? I mean, she
Fat.
became.
Cross off another name. There's my pen.
Oh God! There you go.
I got nothing.
Yeah, but how many shows came from that fucking show?
Oh,
Which?
Maud, the Jeffersons.
Oh, from the All in the Family. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. There was that. There was that attempt to do it with a black family,
Right.
With John Amos,
Right.
In 704 Hauser.
Wait, but what about Good Time? Good Times!
Well, yeah. Right. Because Good Times comes from Maud.
Yeah, comes from
Right.
Maud.
That was
But you
part
know
of
what?
the, part of the tree.
When Al Marinara...
Marinara?
What was his name?
Molinaro.
Al Molinaro died. They mentioned Happy Days, and no one mentioned
I
him
know.
Yeah,
on
pissed
the
us
Odd
off.
Couple,
I
where he was
know.
hysterical on that.
Yeah.
I loved, and Bob Newhart. I mean, how many?
Well, there was that great Saturday night.
I know.
Where you had
it was
All in the Family.
unbelievable. And now
Mary
what do they
Tyler Moore.
have? They have the Netflix and they have the computers. But the other thing was there was no DVR, so it was like all those shows we watched facilitated like dialogue between people because everyone watched
Oh, yeah,
it at
water
the same
cooler
time.
shows, yeah.
And they used to be like, about 4 or 5 stations.
Right.
So the next day, you could talk to anybody in the world
Right,
about
about-
what was on TV
Right.
last
Well, Laugh-In
night.
was a show like that.
Oh,
The-
yes,
The whole world
yes.
stopped, and everybody
Right.
just went and ran home to watch Laugh-In. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the Smothers Brothers too.
Oh,
me
yeah.
too.
And they
Me
got
too.
fucking canned.
Me too.
What about the theme song to the Smothers Brothers? Written by what's his name? Fuck. And he was a writer.
Oh, you're stumping me.
God damn it. He wrote
Not the Classical Gas. Mason Williams.
yeah, Mason Williams.
Yeah.
But what was that? Wasn't a theme song, though.
He wrote Classical Gas and he wrote the theme song too.
Was that it?
And he was a writer.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I don't
I
know
love
why it's
Classical
stuck in
Gas.
my head somewhere. I love Classical Gas too. And Steve Martin was a writer.
Yep.
And I remember when
show.
first time they played Classical Gas, they made an actual video with it where they showed Ole's paintings for a quarter of a second, one right after the other. It's an amazing thing to
Really?
watch. Yeah.
A video?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta look at that.
I wonder if he's still around, Mason
Mason
Williams. He'd be
Mason
a
Williams?
good
Yeah,
guest
he'd be good.
for us.
Mason Reese would be
Mason
good.
Reese also.
Yeah, oh my God, I used to see him on the Upper West Side.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like in the 90s
He
or 80s.
became like a party
Oh.
planner.
Yeah.
Professional party
yeah,
planner.
he made a pass at Dara.
Mason
No
Reese.
way.
He tried to fuck her.
Mason Reese?
Dara,
Ew!
you've been holding out on me.
Yeah, so she gave him a hand
Did you
job
fuck him?
just to shut him
Did
up.
you do anything? Oh
Hey,
my God.
speaking
hand jobs.
Speaking of which, I ran into Peter Dinklage.
There are no segues on this show, Judy. You should
Just
know
ran
that.
into him? You must have felt so good about yourself.
I felt so big.
Oh, God. I don't think he's coming on the show.
No, I can put him with Sally Struthers.
Yeah.
Let me cross that out.
Sally Struthers.
Let me write that out. Oh, I thought of one with Sally Struthers that nobody remembers. There was a short-lived Gloria series.
Yes, I do
yes,
remember that.
yes.
She went to work in in
Yes.
a veterinarian's office.
Wait, what was Alice, the waitress?
Linda
Lavin.
Linda Lavin. Yeah, I like that show too.
Yeah.
I love Rhoda, though. I mean, for a Jew growing up in New Jersey, Mary Tyler Moore, like Rhoda was, and Nancy wasn't Nancy Walker the
Played
mom?
her
I
mother.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I can't remember anything anymore.
Cloris Leachman.
The actress playing Rhoda,
Valerie
Harper.
Harper.
Valerie Harper, said that in an interview, she says Jewish women still come up to her and say, "Please tell me you're Jewish, please." And she goes, "I'm not, but Rhoda still is."
Oh, I love that. And she's
love
Italian.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Italian.
Yeah.
But that was like the first Jewy
Fucking
character.
guinea.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a fucking guinea.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't
No, I'm not
How
true.
is she? How is she?
She's a fucking guinea.
Oh my God! And Harold Gould played
yes.
her father.
Oh my God!
We love
yes.
Harold Gould.
Yeah,
You
he
know,
was
because my
always
father's
great.
name was Harold Gold.
Oh,
and so,
that's great.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
used to be
Harold
like Harold
Gould
Gould.
was always terrific.
Yeah,
From The
he was
Sting
great.
and lots of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ted Knight was fucking amazing.
We love Ted Knight.
We interviewed Ed Asner.
Yeah.
And even though the two would fight a lot,
Right.
he had just nothing but amazing things to say about Ted Knight as a performer.
Right.
he said just how funny.
Oh, he
Each
was
take
so
he did.
committed
brilliant.
too.
Yeah.
What about Gavin McLeod?
Oh,
Murray,
my God.
the miserable. Hey, I'm going to be by myself. I'm going to go home and jerk off. I can't go to the party. I'm getting a catheter tomorrow. I mean, it was just like he was so miserable.
Gil was at a show. Was it a nostalgia show with him
Yes, I
recently?
met.
No way.
Sweet guy.
I met him, and at the end of the night, Gavin McLeod hugs me, gives me a big hug, and goes, "I love you even more now."
That's nice. I think he's born again. I think he's.
No, he isn't.
I think he is.
I believe he is.
I think
Oh, I
he
can't
is.
with that born again.
I believe he's a
crap.
religious
I
fellow.
cannot.
But
And I know he's born again because after he said, "I love you even more," he goes, "Even though you killed Christ." And then he hit me with his captain's hat.
which brings me to a segue.
Yes.
My last card.
Since
Yes.
when?
You said this is interesting. You said the only people who told you not to be so Jewy when you were starting out in show business were other Jews.
Were Jews,
which
yeah.
I found interesting.
Yes.
That's so funny. Jackie Mason always says that.
Why do you have to be so Jewish?
Well, yeah. Jackie
That
Mason.
only Jews.
Yeah, he said he got his breaks from people like Steve Allen.
Right.
And people like that. The Jews were, he says, because the Jews think if you put a Jew on television, it's going to start another pogrom. And so you can't have a Jew on television. And yeah.
It was every manager, every person, too Jewish, straighten your hair. Yeah, it was.
Didn't you have a manager who told you to dye your hair blonde?
dye your hair blonde and straighten
Oh,
it.
jeez.
Yeah.
Which I fucking took a headshot with. I look like a newscaster.
Gildy.
Yeah, it was every Jew. It's only Jews who were like, she's too Jew. It's like, you're a fucking Jew. Why don't you fucking admit you're a Jew?
It's interesting.
It is.
And I think David Steinberg said, David Steinberg, he said that.
His father was a rabbi.
Oh,
Go.
Yes.
And he said that,
True.
he had some agent telling him, change the name Steinberg.
Right, Steinberg.
Because that's too Jewish. And he goes, something like, but your name is Seymour Rosenblatt.
Did you ever run into this, Gilbert? Did anyone ever tell you in the business? Change
No, they
your
just
name,
told me I had no talent whatsoever. The Jew part never
You never got that?
Never.
Never-
Now, I get
it never
the-
went that far.
Except for Steinberg telling you not to run so Jewy.
Oh, yeah, right.
When you were in.
I like they tell me, you are a specific type. That's what they always tell
Oh,
me.
well, here's something I remember I used to get that was idiotic. People, when I'd audition for parts, they'd say, "Oh, well, you're kind of a Woody Allen type." And I'm not at all
I mean, you don't even
a Woody Allen type, but it means
Have
like
you
a
fucked
Jew.
your stepdaughter?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. I knew it. God damn it.
And the last thing I want to ask you about
Yes.
is Barbara Streisand.
Oh.
Another hero.
I used to
yours.
sit in my room. I don't know. I loved her because she was so. Everyone told her, "You're too ugly. You're
Right.
too this. You're too." It's all those people who are like, "No, you can't. You're too this." That I totally was drawn
Like Toadie
to.
Fields and her
Right,
and all
right.
these all Jewish women who were kind of making it as themselves.
Right.
Doing their own thing.
And now look at me. Now I've turned into an old Jewish woman. Marsha Brady. But I loved Barbara. I think every Jewish girl wanted to be Barbara Streisand. But now it's like, I can't with the, it's like, shut up.
And
She's
it-
become a
it's
little
so
self-serious.
weird that when I grew up, when I was watching TV, like the Andy Griffith Show and
Right, right, right.
Hee-Haw, and all these things that I thought, well, this lets me see what Gentiles are like. But it was all created and
Of
written
course.
by
Right.
Jews.
It was everything.
Yeah.
Of course.
Every Christmas song is written by a
Yes.
Jew.
Right.
But
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I really miss? Honestly, the theme songs. No shows have welcome back.
Oh, yeah.
Your
Right.
dreams are yours.
Right.
Ticket out.
John
you know,
Sebastian.
like everyone. Mary Tyler Moore's like, that's my ringtone. Who can turn the world on
That's a great
with
one.
her? I mean, there were so many great fucking songs. Good times, and then we're moving on up. But they don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I read today that the multiple camera show with a laugh track is dying out. There's only 5 of them left on the
Oh,
air.
No.
those died a while.
Yeah.
You know, the last
They're moving away from them.
old-style sitcom I saw that lasted about a week, and that was the one with Whitney Cummings.
Right. Well,
Right.
there was Mulaney, the one with Martin Short on
Right.
it. and
Oh,
the kid,
okay.
And but it's they're getting away from it. I mean, it's becoming a thing of the past.
Yeah.
And the single camera show, like
Right.
you did, Louis.
Right.
The single camera show is and the theme songs another thing.
Do you think it'll ever come back?
No.
I don't know. They've been asking for years. Is Variety going to come back? Bill Murray's doing a good old-fashioned Christmas special this year.
Right.
That's encouraging,
Well, don't you think The Voice and American Idol, that's a variety show?
I suppose.
You know,
But
that's
it's like
but
now-
competition, yeah.
Now we couldn't do a variety show unless it was real snarky.
Right.
And we're laughing at the whole concept of the variety show.
Or it's daytime.
Yes.
You know, it's like, because I know, what's his name, just did a pilot that got picked up. Singer.
Harry Connick.
Harry Connick
Yeah, I heard
Jr..
about that.
You know, and it's going to be like the
But
Merv
more of a talk
Griffin.
show.
The Merv Griffin and the Mike Douglas. I mean, I love that shit.
You can still do a talk show, but that variety show,
Yeah.
that Sonny and Cher thing, I know you were into Sonny and Cher, and I was
Yeah.
researching it today and remembering the old Vamp sketches where
Right.
she would climb on the piano.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
She and Terry Garr were the girls in
Right.
the laundromat. And you just don't see that. It really is kind of an old
And
school
you know
comedy.
what? I don't understand. Why have they not had Carol Burnett on Saturday Night Live? Like, if you're going to put
Wow,
someone
yeah, that
on
makes
Saturday
sense.
Night Live, it should be. I mean, they put Betty White on, but
Yeah.
she fucking originated.
I wonder if they asked her.
I
and
wonder.
She said
I
no.
wonder. Yeah.
I kind of think they'd had to. have
No,
asked
they
her.
put Donald Trump. He is so talented.
I would imagine that Carol Burnett would come up as an idea
Don't you
Yeah.
for
think?
that. Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, I've always thought that.
Well, I'm out of cards. You want to go out on one of these theme songs? Mario was here and he sang the Gidget theme for us.
What do you want me to say?
What do we want to sing,
Oh,
Gil?
but you know what's interesting also with theme songs?
Tell me.
They
They're sort of the story, so you don't have to do the scene explaining everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, exposition.
Where it was
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
like, you know, all the
Here's
themes.
the story. Yeah.
It was, and it would always like explain like stuff like saying, oh, like all the Miller Boyette
Right.
theme songs were like, you know, a lot of bad things happen to us
Yeah.
along the way, but we love each other, so
Right.
everything's going to be great.
You got a show there.
Wait, what about Green Acres is the place
Yeah.
to be?
Yes.
Right.
Farm living is the life for me.
Go ahead, Gil.
Spread land spreading out so far and wide.
Keep Manhattan,
just give me that countryside. New York
You don't know
is
this one,
where
Gil?
I'd rather
Yeah, that
stay.
one I
Jump in.
also a Jew created.
Was it Paul
Yes.
Henning Jewish?
What?
Paul Henning was Jewish, the
Well,
guy
I don't-
behind
They all
Green
changed
Acres?
their names after the war.
You know, Sherwood Schwartz, speaking of theme songs,
Yeah.
your friend,
Yes.
Sherwood, wrote I remember reading an interview with him, and he said that's where the money was.
Yeah,
He wrote
in
the
the theme
Gilligan's
songs,
Island
yeah.
and,
Oh, yes.
and the Brady Bunch theme.
And what's his name? The creator of Star Trek,
Roddenberry.
Roddenberry, wrote words to
That's
the
right.
Star Trek theme.
That's right.
Even though he knew it would never be
Right,
played
right.
anywhere, but he gets paid every
time?
they play the Star Trek theme.
It's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah.
I wrote some of the lyrics to the Rosie O'Donnell show
Really?
theme,
That's cool.
and I lived off that for years. It was so great. Now they don't play it anymore.
Yes, that
Yeah.
went. Rosie O'Donnell, bad things happen to her.
Only the Miller Boyette version.
Yes. But then she has her friends, so everything turns out good.
Okay.
There are actually words to the Dick Van Dyke theme that Maury,
Oh, yes.
Maury Amsterdam wrote. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
When Dick Van Dyke was on the Behar show, we got it out of him. He sang it. I think it's on YouTube.
Really?
I think you can find him
Really?
singing the lyrics.
Fuck, I wish we could have had Maury Amsterdam
Yeah,
on this
me
show.
too.
He would have been great.
Me
well,
too.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Why don't we do the Gilligan's Island theme?
Oh,
Gilbert has
I
to
don't-
sing on every show.
He does? Okay.
No, I can sing Captain Nice
Okay. Do you remember
Look,
Captain Nice?
with
No.
William Daniels.
With William Daniels
No.
from St. Elsewhere?
No.
Yeah, and he played Dustin Hoffman's father in The Graduate.
I think it's before
Yes.
my time.
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
60s.
Look, it's the man who flies around like an eagle. Look, it's the man who hates all that's illegal. Who is this man with arms built just like hammers? It's just some nun who flies around in pajamas. That's no nut, son. That's Captain Nice.
Created by Buck Henry.
Really?
Yeah, speaking of Get Smart.
Wow.
And they
Wow.
had two shows on opposite each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
Captain Nice and Mr. Terrific.
That was the one with John MacGyver.
Right.
Yeah, oh.
MacGyver!
Oh, Mr. Terrific, sir. Yes, a bank is being held up, sir. Yes.
He sings on every show.
I love it.
And I do John MacGyver on every show.
MacGyver! Marsha Brady!
I got nothing.
Joe Buck, you have a strong back. You're gonna need it,
He'll
Joe
go for hours.
Buck.
Oh, I know what I want to ask you before you
What?
go, Judy. You're in the Aristocrats
Yes!
with this man.
Yes, I was 9 months pregnant. I gave birth like a week later. And I remember that night I went home and I go to my ex, Sharon. I go, I just said the most disgusting thing ever. And they filmed it, right? You know, I'm telling her this whole.
Yes.
And mine was really bad. It was about, fucking and and it was about a pregnant woman and getting fucked and the jizz goes in the baby, whatever. Anyway, and so Sharon's like, you are a mother. You're a mother, and you said that, and your kids are going to grow up? How dare you? And I called up Paul, and I said,
Paul Provenza.
yeah, I said, you got to cut me out. He's like, what are you talking about? You were so fun. I go, no, you don't understand. I'm a mother. And he was like, Judy, you're out of your fucking mind. And he kept it in. But I was like, I can't believe she let me fucking feel guilty that
That's the whole point of
I
it.
know.
I think you need to write a theme song for the Aristocrats that Gilbert needs
Oh,
to.
yeah,
that Gilbert
that's a
needs
good.
to.
All right, I'll do
Even
that.
though they fuck each other in the ass and they're all related, if they stick together, things will turn out okay. A Miller Boyette production.
Oh, God.
Hilarious.
Well, what do you have to plug?
My ass. I have. Please listen to my podcast.
Oh, it's a funny
on
podcast.
iTunes, yeah, Kill Me Now. JudyGold.com/Kill Me Now. I'm at Twitter at JEWDYGOLD. Get it? Judy. I have a lot of other gigs, but I can't fucking remember what they are.
That's
and,
fine.
And lastly, Judy,
Yes.
what was your favorite character in the Brady
Oh,
Bunch?
my God. I mean, there were so many, but I think, honestly, the one who I really loved, and, she was just so perfect and pretty, and it was, what's her name? Marsha Brady!
Thank you, Judy. I'm out of cards.
I'm Gilbert Gottfried. This has been Gilbert Gottfried's Amazing Colossal Podcast. And my co-host is fucking Guinea.
And your
Also-
guest is a dykey Jew!
Also known as Frank Santopadre and Frank Verderosa and Nutmeg Studios.
Thank you, Frank.
And we've been talking to Judy Gold. And
Wow.
and
And we need to apologize to Sally Struthers
Yeah,
and Peter,
Wait,
Now-
who else?
please come on the
Peter
show.
Dinklage and
yeah.
Valerie Harper.
Yeah.
Who else?
And Mason Reese.
Mason
Mason
Reese.
Reese.
Mason Williams.
Gavin McLeod.
Gavin McLeod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
We need-
Yeah. All right.
Funny show.
It was fun.
Thank
you for having me.
Thank you, Judy. I'm exhausted.
Me too. How's Sally Struthers?
And a heartfelt apology to Caitlyn Jenner.